Teddy Roosevelt said, "Speak softly and carry a big stick and you will go far." The Prime Minister making big, bold threats of a lawsuit and then hiding from following through. He is roaring loudly and carrying a small twig. Now, I'm announcing today on behalf of the Leader of the Opposition, he is setting a deadline for the Prime Minister to follow through on his threat. Monday at midnight. Will they meet the deadline, or will the Prime Minister just run for cover?
The Honourable Government House Leader.
Mr. Speaker, let me just share a little bit of history. The Minister of Innovation had put the Leader of the Official Opposition on notice in December because he had used words that were not judicious and should not have been used. He used them in the House. We challenged him to use them outside the House. He tried it outside the House, was served notice, and all of a sudden, like magic, those tweets disappeared. Those online press releases disappeared. Mr. Speaker, this happened in February, and now in March, the Prime Minister served him notice, and like magic, those tweets disappeared.
Honourable Member for Carleton.
The letter of threat the Prime Minister sent the official opposition included a bunch of different objectionable claims that he said the Conservative leader had made. So the Conservative leader took the same letter, walked outside, and repeated every single allegation. The Prime Minister, if he doesn't believe that the Leader of the Opposition was telling the truth, could take action, but he has to do so quickly under the principle of libel law that you have to move as soon as reasonably possible. So when will he live up to his bold threats, or will he simply back down and hide?
The Honourable Government House Leader.
So in December, the Leader of the Official Opposition deleted tweets, retracted messaging. In February, the Leader of the Official Opposition deleted tweets, retracted messaging. In March, the Leader of the Official Opposition deleted tweets, retracted messaging. They change their messaging and then they go outside. But most recently, Mr. Speaker, because the Conservatives have a history of misleading Canadians, they wanted to have a fundraiser. They wanted a private fundraiser to talk about the privatization of healthcare. Yeah. You know what today, Mr. Speaker? They have now changed the parameters of that fundraiser. Maybe they'll delete it entirely. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The Honourable Member for Carleton.
They really want to talk about health care and fundraisers? This from a party whose leader had a $1,500 a plate fundraiser and threw out of the room to cackles of laughter an Aboriginal protester angry about the mercury poisoning that occurred in a First Nations community. We will take no lessons from this Prime Minister on health care and fundraisers. Instead of political attacks and hypocrisy, why won't they stand up behind their words and follow?
Honourable Member for l'Honourable Député de Louis.
The Honourable Member for Louis Saint Laurent.
The Honourable Government House Leader is going to want to respond to that.
I know you couldn't find the question in there, but that is what they mislead Canadians and call a question. But, Mr. Speaker, it's important because it's a very important matter, and the Prime Minister did apologize and accept responsibility. But what's more important, actually, when it comes to that issue, Mr. Speaker, is that when it comes to the fundraisers that we hold, they are in public. The media is present. Anyone who lobbies the Prime Minister is not able to attend because we have even stricter rules when it comes to fundraising. And we had to bring the Conservatives kicking and screaming along because when it came to the fundraiser, the future Finance Dream Minister wanted to have.
L'Honourable Député